So I'm waiting for the man himself. We have 5 minutes. Do me a favor, everybody. I think, yeah, I unlocked my account. Ooh, he already reshared it. That means my brother, Mr. Adam Queen, right? I actually like Adam. A lot of people listen, this whole religious thing, we're going to solve it right here, right now with Adam and myself. And we're going to go over it. And we're going to talk about it. Because it's all psychological, right? It's just like a toxic relationship where we have to speak about it, right? Are you overdoing it? Are you believing the right thing? Are you over believing? What are we doing here, right? We have to talk about it. We have to talk about the psychology. There he is. Look at that. All right. Let me put my good headphones in real quick. Let me make sure I sound crystal clear for my brother, Adam Queen. Give me just a second. Welcome, Adam. Welcome to the stage. Told you it's just going to be you and I. Let me put my good headphones in
Wolf,
real quick.
brother, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, so much love. Thanks for the kind
Yeah.
words. Glad
So,
to, glad to hear you actually like me.
yeah, dude. Come on. Listen, this whole hate, this whole bullshit that everyone is doing on here, it's so counterproductive, right? I mean, it just doesn't. What's the point, right? I'm not gonna go have an ice cream cone with you and walk down the beach, right? We're not gonna hold hands, right? We just here spreading some kind of message about some parasite, right? So, I think we have a common enemy, a common goal, right? On the end of the day. But
Well,
yeah.
to be honest, with the Christians, I don't exactly know if I agree with that because I see the Christians and the rabbis as having the common goal. They all want the whole world to worship the God of the Bible. They're the ones that both believe in Bible prophecies. They're the ones that want, just like the rabbis want every knee to bow to the Moshiach, these Christians want every pagan knee to bow to the Moshiach as long as his name is Jesus. So I do think it is a big issue. But
Well,
I
let's
think
let's
we could
let's
we could but
let's
hold on, let me finish this point. But we
go
could
ahead.
have a good faith talk and disagree and then still agree on other things.
Exactly. And also I want to actually kind of do this little. I want to get into with you, right? Let's go into some more of psychology, the human behavior. We get into the religious topic as well, right? But for me, obviously, you understand. I'm kind of like I believe in a God, right? Doesn't mean I'm believing in the God that they tell me that's the God, right? I believe in something, a higher spirit, something that I know is hovering over us, that karma does exist, right? I believe in karma, right? I do, right? Because I fucked up in my life to understand that I had to make it up again, right? Because shit wasn't right after I did the things I did when I was younger, to kind of make it up now in my life to understand that, yeah, I fucked up. I had my karma. I had my fair share of karma, right? I think we all somehow, somewhere had that happening to us, and I'm pushing on. I'm pushing forward, right? But I do want to talk to you about these things. I do want to get into the religious talk and all that, but I don't want to, I don't want to make it just about that, right? I want to kind of talk about you. I've been seeing you out there talking to people, going live, right? First of all, stud, right? White stud over here, right? You're out there with those, look at you out there on the beach, checking up all these people, talking to them. So proud of you, doing a good job on that, by the way. I mean, at least you're out there doing something, right? This is your message, what you believe in, and you actually going out there and you actually fucking doing it, right? So kudos to that, right? Um, but real quick, before we get started with Adam, I would like to hear from Adam. Adam, what made you who you are and what made you believe in what you believe in today, right? I want to know because you were born one day, right? One day you were born, and then your parents, I don't know, what were your parents? Were there any religious type? Were they non-religious?
They met
Um,
at church. They met at church.
the meta church.
Mhm.
Sorry, at the meta church. So, oh my God, my notifications are driving me nuts. Give me a second. It's like I'm talking to you and I have all these notifications coming in my ear hole. I want to talk about that a bit, right? And then I want to hear from you, and then I can talk about myself too. Where the shift came and what made you kind of open your eyes to this and realize, like, I don't believe this shit. Like, I'm gonna make my own conclusion about this. I'm gonna figure things out for myself, right? And when did that hit you? And what age? Why did you take on this path of this, and what is the reason behind it? What do you truly believe in and all these things? And just give us a little rundown, a couple minutes of, mom, dad, and then what changed you, and where did you go from there, and all these good things, and just, because we all started somewhere, right? It doesn't mean we all started with this in ourselves. We all had to kind of proceed, and we had to kind of, you know, like a baby, we kind of grew into everything we know today, right? And it takes a little bit of time. So I know there's some backstory. So I would like to hear your backstory because I never had you on the show. I never really got to talk to you. I only see all the shit talking from this side, all the shit talking from that side, and all this shenanigans constantly going on with arguments and infighting, all this garbage. So I want to judge the people myself, right? I don't judge a book by its cover. And so that's why I wanted to do this. So if you don't mind, I mean, I give you the stage if you feel like it. Go over that a little bit, and then we continue on.
Sure, I hope it'll help with people with some more context of where I'm coming from for sure. So, like I said, my parents met in church, and this is Protestant Church of Christ is the denomination. And I was raised in church. My mom and especially her side of the family, my were very religious, like from the South. Even my dad's side also were German Lutheran, actually. But so I was raised in church, and I always, even as young as I can remember, there was just something that I felt not right with it. Like I remember as a little kid, my mom reading me like the books, the cartoon books of the Bible stories. And I was already skeptical then. I'm like, Noah's Ark, really? Flood, whole earth? Like, Mom, did this really happen? Yes, yes, it did. This is the real history. This is the perfect book. This is God's word, and learning Genesis and Noah's Ark, and Jesus died for your sins, and you gotta be, they all pressured me to get baptized. You gotta be dipped in the water to be forgiven for your sins, and then you can drink the grape juice and drink the blood of Jesus. So I did believe going to church, I did believe they convinced me of
What
demons.
age? What age was that, by the way? Because I mean, I went through the same thing, dude. Super hardcore Catholic parents, right? German, and then my mom Italian, like super hardcore Catholic. So, what age did that all start for you, anyways? Was it? It wasn't the United States, obviously, right?
I was in the United States.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I'm just questioning. Yeah. Yeah. Good. All right. Continue.
Yeah, no. So is the age like as young as I can remember, maybe like 4 or 5 years old, because it was all I was learning. I was in church 3 times a week. They had like vacation Bible schools, church camps all through growing up, and I never believed it. I thought maybe I'm evil that I don't believe, or at times I wanted to believe. I would pray, but deep down, like it seemed like made up to me, and I didn't realize it at the time that like this is a basically a branch of Judaism, and we're worshiping the Jewish Messiah, and I wasn't aware of any of that stuff. But I'm 15, going into high school, about to get my driver's license. I'm more interested in basketball and girls. I was happy when I didn't have to go to church anymore. And then I discovered like YouTube, and I'm watching evolution stuff and religious debates and debunking Christianity. And then I just like, yeah, I was raised in a weird cult. And then I discover, you asked where everybody starts. Then I discovered Alex Jones and like political conspiracy world. And then around that same time, I learned everybody calling Jones is a Zionist shill. So I'm learning about Zionism and Jews involved with all these conspiracies. So then I started a YouTube channel. I'm exposing Christian Zionism. I'm exposing rabbis. And then
And that was
I
what like real quick. That was like in the
two,
2000s,
2014 is when I started my first
2014.
YouTube channel. Yeah, but I didn't start like doing streaming until maybe like 2 years later, a year or two later. And
Because
then,
because you've been in this game now for a while, right, Adam? I mean,
yeah,
2014, right? I mean, you've been doing this, so that's another thing, right? You've been kind of doing this for a minute now, right? You don't hide that, right? So,
yeah.
yeah.
Over 10 years and like full time for about like 5 years. So I was working with I was getting donations from Christians. I was friends with Christians, exposing Christian Zionists and rabbis in Judaism. But then I was noticing I'm trying to expose the rabbis and I'm showing that they believe this Torah verse, and then I'm criticizing them. And then uh, the Christians were always an obstacle and they were like an impediment. And I realized, and then once I started reading books about Jesus mythicism, and realizing that there's actually, because before I just thought like what everybody probably thinks, that it's just there was some guy, he was some Jewish reformer, and they created legends about him. That was basically my position, but I really didn't think too much of it actually until I started reading Jesus mythicism books and realized that the evidence for him existing is awful and very poor, and every indication that it's just a mythical construct, like literally some ancient mystical Jews just had a bunch of prophecies and then created a figure and wrote a story to fulfill those prophecies, and then sold that to the Gentiles and convinced the Gentiles to follow this Messiah. So that's kind of the my origin story and path to where I'm at today. And it's like, if I mean, put yourself in my shoes. You read all these books. I've been obsessed for like 5 years reading all the books about origins of Christianity and Jesus mythicism books, and you realize that it's a myth. He never existed. Well, who invented him and why? And that's very apparent if you just read any of the scriptures that they use to construct Christianity. And every single time, it's about conquering the nations, having the goyim bow down to the Messiah and the God of Israel. So it's it's like an open conspiracy. The whole point of Judaism, like the central issue of the JQ, is the Torah in Judaism and their religion, and it's all about the ultimate goal is having the whole world worship their God. And then we start watching rabbi videos and clipping up rabbis, and every single rabbi is bragging about how they Judaize the world with Jesus, and they're celebrating this. And most Christians today, all the Zionists in America, that's like the number one allies and accomplices and supporters of Israel, and even the other churches are pretty much cucked, completely cucked and kosher as well. So they've used it to theologically conquer the world with this mythical story. And like, you've called me divisive in the past, but put yourself in my shoes. It's the biggest lie. It's the biggest Jewish lie of the last 2,000 years. I want to yell it from the rooftops and try to wake everybody up to this deception, and free them from the prophecy, Yahweh, Moshiach, Messiah, like, hypnotic spell that they're under. And that's my motivation. And yeah, you saw me. I'm writing a book on this. It's about to come out very soon, called The Jesus Deception. I'm out on the street doing interviews with Christians and talking to them about this. And and the only pushback I get is from the atheists on YouTube. They dismiss and ignore and call me an anti-Semite. And then with the Christians online, they just lie and cope and say, make up lies about me and say that I'm Jewish and stuff. Uh, well, this is all I ever hear. A lot of the people from the Christian camp lying about me instead of addressing what I actually say in my arguments. I've shown my DNA results: 100% Northwest European, zero Jewish, mostly German, English, Scottish, and some Nordic. And I've posted videos of me as a little kid when I'm 4 years old singing "Jesus Loves Me." I'm 6'4" with blonde hair and blue eyes, and all I ever hear from all the Christians is they're calling me Jewish. When they literally, they're all I got to do is quote their Bible that says he's the King of the Jews, he's a rabbi, and every goyim knee must bow. And then they call me a Jew because I'm just pointing out like the obvious facts about Christianity. So I guess that's enough
Yeah.
for the
No, I
intro.
like
If
it.
you
I
have
mean,
any thoughts.
listen, I mean, it's who you are, right? It's
Mhm.
your that's your identity. That's what you stand for. A lot of people, I mean, a lot of people are angry that I'm even having you up here. A lot of people are angry that I'm even hosting you, but it's all right. I mean, for me, it's just a conversation. There's nothing new about Adam Green, right? If I have Adam Green on here to have a conversation with him to kind of get to know the guy more, we all know what he stands for. He doesn't like Christianity. We know that, right? So
Yeah.
that's just what it is. So he doesn't like and believe in the Christian belief,
Mhm.
and he doesn't believe in Jesus, and he doesn't believe that the Bible is something that is accurate in his opinion, which is his opinion, right? And we all know that he's been doing this for a long time. So I just want to clarify this, that I'm hosting people because I'm not biased. I'm sitting here as a host in the middle. I'm having a conversation with him. I just want to make this clear, right? Because I have some friends already losing their shit on me. I just want to make this clear. I'm not sitting here trying to shit on religion, right? You guys can have all the beliefs.
Do you want
I
to
don't
shit on
criticize this.
Judaism? Do you want to
Yeah,
shit on
I think we
Judaism?
should just stay to that, right? Let's
Okay, but
but
here's
real
the thing.
quick, but Adam, real quick, let me actually kind of go into what you just said. That was a nice like little brainstorming. And so um because yeah, I can relate when it comes down to the Catholic thing. When I was, when I was a little boy and I had to hold the candle and walking down the altar and doing all this thing when I was younger, when I was a little boy in Germany, in a Catholic church doing that. That, and that's just, and they know how I am. I mean, everyone knows here that I'm not super religious. I do believe in a God, right? I don't know what God it is. I don't know. We don't, to be honest, all the people here, we don't, what do we really know? What do we really know about anything, anyways, right? Uh, but I didn't like certain things when I grew up, when it came down to that. Especially the way there was certain things going on when I was at that church with them, and I seen stuff, and it was weird, right? And I explained it to my mom, and I guess this guy, it was just not my world, right? So and I felt like I was a bad boy, right? I felt like I was a bad boy, and it felt the same way, and I kind of just stepped away from that in a young age, Um, but then again, I followed my own beliefs. I followed what I thought was right, and that's how I grew up too. This is kind of the same thing, but you guys really, go out there and try to really just talk about the Bible nonstop and all that shenanigans. I'm not really into all that, but when it comes down to the Bible, in my opinion, right, I think it's a good guiding stone, like a good book that kind of gives you some ideas, some guiding, some you can figure it out. Like, do you think this is true? Do you think this is wrong? Right. And you can kind of make your own opinions, right, when you read the Bible. And then I think for me, that's what I take out of that, right? I mean, when you talk about the synagogue of Satan, there is some pattern recognition going on, right? Some people they do understand something about these people already back in those days, right? So I take that as something truthful and honest, right? That when you do expose these people, you do talk about them, you do say these things. I believe that's just pattern recognition, right? I believe that we can take that from that, right? We can at least align with that and be like, all right, they already understood who these people are, right? They've been disavowed already a long time ago, right? Um, but other than that, I mean, yeah, I don't want to make it too crazy about Christian because I'm not a Catholic or a Christian who can talk to you about this, right? I cannot defend the Christians or the Catholics. I cannot get into this stuff too much, right? But what I want to do is just talk about psychology, human behavior, and how religion did affect the human race and why it was created, right? To keep order, right? To keep people in line, and then we can talk about the Jays, right? How they conquered, people's minds too through brainwashing, right? We can get into this kind of stuff if you don't mind. I mean, I just don't want to get too deep into religious topic because it's just not my fucking field, right? Um, who's talking? Oh, there you are. Go ahead. Sorry, I thought I heard someone
So
else
we're
on.
we're gonna green pill you tonight, Wolf. If
Oh.
would you agree? Well, first of all, hold on. People need to understand the reason that I don't like Christianity is because the same reason that I don't like Judaism, because Christianity is a branch of Judaism. It's literally called the branch in the Bible. It's a sect of messianic apocalyptic Judaism. All the first Christians were Jews. It's fulfillment of Jewish prophecies, and it's the Davidic, who is the king of Judah. So Judeo, it's the Judeo Messiah, the Jewish Messiah. So that's the problem. And I'm agnostic. There may be a God. I'm not like a hardcore militant atheist or anything. I just definitely don't believe in the Jews' version of God that chose them and has their homeland as the Holy Land, and they're the priest and they're the nation of priests and the prophets, and we all need to listen to them and follow their God and their Messiah. Like, do you say you believe in God, but you don't believe in the Bible God, right? You don't believe in the Jewish God.
Well, what is God? That's the biggest question, right? What is God, right? Who is God? I mean, is it the Hindus? Is it the Buddhas? Is it the Christians, the Catholics, the Muslims, Allah? What, right? I believe, on the end of the day, what do we actually define as a God, right? What do humans actually fucking understand to realize these things? What do we actually know? I think we all just hoping or thinking we know things, right? I feel like that the entire past is just all written by people. So when people write things, yeah, I will listen to it, I will hear it, but then again, don't we have to experience these things ourselves? Don't you and I have to figure out, like, what does it mean to even be alive, to align with whatever it is that is their so-called quote unquote God, right? I think that's like a more of a like a spiritual path, and like something that you and I, like yourself, has to figure out with whatever it is in myself, right? So that's just where I'm at when it comes down to these things, because yeah, like that's why I'm kind of with you guys on just on these things when it comes down to the Bible and the religious stuff and the Christianity and Catholics, but I don't shit on any of this, right? But I'm kind of with that because it's like, yeah, who are we to know these things, that this is the truth? Who are we to think that this is exactly what it is? There is scripture, there is stuff that has been written by people, by so-called gods, but is it really it, right? So I question that, and it's okay, I think, for me to question that. It's okay for me to have a conversation with you too, because you are just on the opposite side of all of this, right? I hang out with Christian Catholics every single day, so I hear their side all the time, right? And I like what, dude. One good thing with what I like about my Christian and Catholic brothers is that they have their belief, but on the end of the day, we will go side by side against what we understand as a common goal, as a common mission. It's something that we can align on, and they don't shit on me either for not believing in God, right? I'm sorry, in the Bible or in Christianity or Catholics, right? Hey, babe, good that you're here because you can help me with Adam. Um, but you know what I mean? Like that's why I respect it so much, bro. Because, like, we might disagree with them on some stuff, but then again, we do align on more things in my day-to-day life, right, than just this religious topic, right? That's just where I'm at, right? This is my opinion. That's why I don't need to sit there and shit on these people. They're my brothers no matter what. If they want to believe in Jesus Christ, if they want to believe in the Bible, that's on to them. But if we can get this one common mission accomplished, this common goal accomplished, I'm fine with that, bro. Right? That's just where I'm at. I know you guys are not like that. I know you guys over there, you don't want nothing to do with them. They're disavowed. You think they're fucking believing in a Jewish God, and all these things. I mean, we can get into it, right? We can get into it, but that's just where I'm at, right? So there's no hate towards anybody, really. It's just like, if people are retarded, I judge a book by its cover. No, I judge actions, right? Actions always speak louder than words for me. So if I judge a person on his actions, I really don't care what they believe in, as long as that whatever they say and whatever they think they whoever they claim they are, that I can see that through time, and then I can judge them on their actions, right? That's just where I'm at, right? That's kind of where I settled down. You know what I mean, Adam? That's kind of where I settled down, where I'm like, all right, that's how I'm gonna live it, and that's how I'm gonna look at the people that I want in my life, right? So I kind of left the belief thing away and just kind of go after, just kind of looking at people's actions, right, instead of their words. So that's why I'm not going ballistic on people about their beliefs. You know what I mean?
You mentioned several times about, like, insinuating that I'm attacking them or I'm shitting on them.
Mm.
I don't see it like that. I see it as I'm trying to tell the truth and help them see the truth. Because if I think that all of my brothers are believing are worshiping the Jewish God and the Jewish Messiah, and it was made up to theologically conquer us, of course I would do that. And you say that, like, you don't shit on them and they're okay to you. If you were saying that Jesus wasn't real and that he's Jewish, they would be shitting on you. So So you have to like walk on eggshells around Christians, and ultimately they're not real Christians if they don't put Jesus first. And I'm not going to be sensitive. Like, we have a huge Christian problem. The main reason in America that Israel has so much power is because of the Christian Zionism. The You're friends with some Catholics. The kosher Pope, the Pope is so kosher. He's doing videos about they're washing Africans' feet. They're doing videos about building bridges and not walls, and we're all one human family. And the Catholics are down attending immigration
I
trials to
mean,
get
they do
bringing
disavow
refugees.
that, right? Some, I mean, they don't. You know, there's a lot.
Yeah, they disavow it,
And let's be honest,
but
this
hold on.
Catholicism is not the same Catholics that they used to be, right? This time we in is not the same, right? These are not the Catholics that disavowed the Jays and kicked them out of the fucking countries 109 times. 1034 times over, right? This is we just the times we're in right now. Yeah, it's a little different in 2025. Yes.
So the thing is we have a huge Christian problem. It's their number one way
Well, what
that
do you say
that
about
they
Christians? You mean Zionist Christians who believe that they're the
yeah, yeah,
chosen people,
right.
right? Okay.
All of our well, every Christian believes the Jews were once chosen people, and that's granting them way too much. But yeah, I'm talking about all of the churches of the world, all of the major denominations, the institution of big Christianity. It's completely kosher. It's not in big opposition to Israel. So I'm not gonna like walk on eggshells and pull punches and try to be sensitive to some anonymous, like irrelevant, powerless Christians that are disavowed by their churches, that don't have any influence within the church. I'm not gonna pull punches to try to not offend these Christians online. They're not even on the radar. They have no influence in the world. A lot of them are anonymous. They'd be thrown out of their churches. They are excommunicated and disavowed by their churches. So we have a huge Christian problem, and I'm trying to address it. And then what do I get? A bunch of internet crusaders constantly lying about me and attacking us and doing memes about us and reporting us and trying to get us banned and stuff. So
I
I
mean,
just
I mean,
see the so-called anti-Zionist Christians on the internet are ultimately just running cover for the Christian problem,
but
which is
Adam,
a Jewish problem
can I
because it's a Jewish religion started by
can
Jews.
I address something real quick when it comes down to this, right? And I've been watching this I've been watching this from the back a little bit, right? And don't the Crusaders and all this stuff. I mean, these boys didn't start any of this, right? Let's just kind of get over. If you want to kind of get into that for a second, let's just be honest. No one came and attacked you guys first, right? I did see that happen, and you know that. I mean, let's just be honest.
Dude, I've been attacked by Christians for
No,
like
no, no. I'm
since I
saying when it
first
comes
started
down to
on
the
the internet.
CQ, right? When it comes down to this whole last, like, let's say 2 months or something, how crazy it's been, right? You know that, right? Like, so I'm
No,
just
we're putting the pressure on everybody. We're trying to wake everybody up, and it's the issue everybody's talking about too, and it needs to be ironed out because it's an issue that's not going away. And if you want to look for the cause of the division, it's Jesus and Christianity. These people have to put Jesus first. Their King of the Jews, their Jewish Messiah that was a rabbi, comes before their own people, and yeah, I've been attacked since day one. Anytime I just say anything, there's a bunch of Christians lying about me and attacking me. So do I get mad sometimes and do I clap back at them? Of course, of course.
right,
So
right.
that's the way it goes.
All right. Well, yeah, you guys
And
really.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the most important part. Sorry, Wolf.
Go
What
ahead.
I say about religion is true, and I have the receipts and can back it up. And then all they respond with is lies and copes and crazy conspiracies and making up shit. So Jesus is the division, dude. It's not me trying to impose like you got to bow down to Odin and Thor or something. It's them imposing Jesus and them wanting Christianity to be central to like the whole movement. And a
But
lot
it's
of their
not.
talk.
But it's not that way, Adam. That's the thing. When it comes down to my Christian bros and the Catholic bros, they don't. Actually, they would rather have it this way, right? Where everybody just has that one common goal, a mission, and every can align on that. All the guys, all the Christian Catholic bros that I know, and that's NSDAP, right? That's the kind of belief system that we have, and the boys I have around, is that it's not about what the neighbor next to you believes. It's not about what their religion is. It's about that we're gonna do what's right for the folk and for the people and the future of the people, right? For to have a future for the tribe, right? And then when that is accomplished, then we can talk about what people want to believe in, right? But there is so much more, in my opinion, that has to be done, right, before we can shit on each other. And they're brothers, brother. They're still bros. They're still white man. They're still look, you can meet these guys and not know what religious belief they have, and you can become best friends with them. And then when they say, I'm a Christian or I'm a Catholic, does that mean that they're not your friends now because of that? Right? That's just where I'm at, right? I don't understand, like, and this is your thing. I get it, Adam. I get what this is. And that's the thing I wanted to clarify earlier is this man has been doing this since 2014, right? We know what he stands for, right? But can we do agree on something like that? Can we at least somehow see that could be a way, right? Because how what are you gonna do? Shop your belief, because your belief right now is, I'm not taking anyone up here, right? This is just Adam Green and me. Because if I have anyone else come up, then I will have to get Colin on censored up here, and then we're gonna have a scream festival, right? So I'm not getting letting anyone up, and I'm just doing this because it's fair. Because if I, yeah, I think someone is on JQ right now. I already saw what I saw. So real quick, um, because what are we really doing, bro? Right? When we fight amongst each other about belief, right? Is there not something that is bigger than just us shitting on each other with the belief? Isn't there something we can align with? Isn't there something that we can, yeah, we can deal with the book sometime down the road. We can, but then again, what do you really know about the true history of religion? What do we actually know? What do we really know about God? What do we really know about the story of Jesus? What do we know?
I know a lot. I know a lot about all that. I've researched a lot. Well, you
Yeah,
keep
but
saying,
it's research from another man, right?
and just reading the source material, the Bible and the New Testament, seeing how the New Testament is basically just quote mining the Old Testament and retelling stories from the Old Testament. But you made a point, and I hear it all the time. Guys, let's just drop the religious infighting and we'll worry about that once we win. But our position is that we're not going to win if we don't straighten out the religious question. How much longer are we supposed to wait for Colin and your Catholic buddies to take over the Vatican and not make the church so kosher? The Pope's going to be in there another 20 or 30 years. You think, how much longer are we going to wait for these fringe, like the Christians that you know that are on the e-crusaders online don't even represent like 0.000 anything of Christianity in the real world. You recognize that, right? So if we have a huge Christian problem with real Christianity in the real world, we have to address that, and we can't sugarcoat things and pull punches for guys on the internet. Exclusive like this, they're exclusive fringe spurgy version of Christianity that isn't even real Christianity and would be disavowed by all the churches. We can't wait for that anymore. It's failed for so long. We're not gonna win and then iron out the problem as long as we're like, how could you be JQ while you're worshiping the King of the Jews and the Jewish God? And they'll cope and they'll say it's not the Jewish God, it's the God of everybody. No, so you think that the Jewish God is the God of everybody? That's the whole psyop.
Yeah, I
We
mean, I
can't
don't see it.
we
I don't
can't
see it.
believe
I
they
don't
were
see
ever.
it that way. I don't see it that way, right? I mean, listen, the Jewish thing, the Jesus thing. I don't. I just don't see it that way, right? I see it. I see actions too, right? I see when you look through the history of their religion, right? They did take action when it comes down to the Jays, right? I mean, there was no pagans or Odinism. I mean, dude, my dog's name is Odin, right? My in many games I play, my name is Odin, right? I mean, I have Nordic tattoos, bro. I have literally, like, I'm literally, like, I'm being honest, right? But who did take care of the shit back in the day? Who did rally the troops to take these people out and take it, and and hold them accountable for all the shit they've been doing through history, right? It was the
They
Catholics.
protected them. No, they protected them. Judaism has survived and is more
Well, wasn't
powerful
that
than
man
ever.
corruption, Adam? Let's be honest. Let's look at the psychology. When
Listen,
a man has too much power, right? Like, let's look at this man back then, too. Let's say there's corruption involved, greed, power, right? Money, you know? So people got corrupted, even back in those times, just like they are today, right? So, I mean, let's,
hold on, Wolf. This is you're totally missing it. Christianity is a version of Judaism, and it actually helped protect Judaism. There were some random small little pogroms and stuff. There were some issues, but all in all, there was way more pagans that were ever killed because of Christianity. And what happened with the Vatican and the Catholic Church? They spread Jewish messianism, the belief in a Jewish Messiah and the Jewish Bible around the world. Judaism has survived. They conquered paganism, which was the whole goal of Judaism, and then now Jews are more powerful than ever. So Christianity stopped Jews from achieving power? No. It's helped them take over the world and be in a position where they got the state of Israel again. They got Christianity turned completely kosher. It has not stopped Jewish power. It is an arm of Jewish power. It's spreading the Jewish God, the God of the Bible. And you said maybe you don't see it that way, but the Bible is very clear that it's to the Jews first, then the Gentiles. It says, Paul says in the New Testament, is it the God of the Jews only? No, it's the God of the Gentiles too. So it's the Goyim worshiping the Jewish God, and we're not going to win and then figure it out after we win under that scenario.
yeah,
It's
but
not
is
going
it
to
that?
happen.
But is it that? Okay, I see one thing, right? I see this, right? Um, I do see today, let's be honest, I do see and I see it all the time on the fucking posts I have to look at when I look at Ted Cruz and all these idiots that are evangelisch Zionists or Christian Zionists who are like, well, we have to bless them. We have to, they're the chosen ones and all that shit. That does fucking rub me the wrong way, right? It does bother me because they did literally brainwash these people to worship the Jew, right? And at least I can agree with you on that. And I know that the Catholics can agree with that too, because that is toxic right there, right? They don't see it the right way. They don't understand that that is not it. How can you say that they're chosen when they believe in seven demonic fucking gods that are not our God, that are not the Catholic or the Christian's God at all, right? So that we can align on that because those people are toxic. Those people are the ones who holding us back, and they are in power when it comes down to the White House, right? And when it comes down to global politics, right? So I can agree with you on that part. I do because that's when they now use religion as a weapon to have these people that they pay for, which is all paid for by who, right? Go out there and spread these things to the Gentile, right, and to the goyim, right, and to tell them, well, this is what the Testament said. This is what they say. They're the chosen ones. We have to love them. We have to praise them. And even the Catholics will say that's they hate that, right? They don't like that at all, right? It's corruption, right? They do align
No,
on that.
no, no. Only maybe the Catholics that the church, especially after Vatican II, is pro-Jewish. They say don't try to convert them. Don't blame them for killing God. They're your elder brothers. Like Christianity comes from Judaism. Like you can't think of Christianity as like what the fringe minority online is. And at the end of the day, Wolf, this is the whole thing in a nutshell. I think you can agree to. Before Christianity in Judaism, before Christianity existed, what was the goal of the Jews?
Sorry, I had on mute. Sorry. Well, what was it? To pretty much conquer the minds of every freaking European man and woman with their religious belief, right?
It, it's clear all over the Old Testament that the goal of Judaism was for Yahweh, the God of the Jews, to conquer all the idol worship and have all of the nations, the Goyim, worship the Messiah and the God of Israel. That was the goal. And then a sect of messianic mystical Jews created a story, a fan fiction, fake fulfilling all of these prophecies, and then convinced the Gentiles and Romans to believe in it. And then now we got the Jews with all this power in the world today and all these kosher Christians. Like, do the math. We have been theologically conquered. We've got hours of rabbis, so many different rabbis bragging about this, saying that Jesus, through Islam and Christianity, helped to Judaize the world and bring all of the nations closer to the God of Israel. Like that's the conspiracy in a nutshell, and I don't think anybody can deny that. If they would like to try, I could show them all the verses where it's clear as day, not open to interpretation. The Messiah is all about conquering all of the nations, and then Christianity did that. And like, how could we not talk about this? How could we not try to fix this?
Yeah, I mean, look, okay, well, there was what were the biggest wars we've ever seen in history, right? They were always religious wars, right? Especially when it comes down to Europe. Um, the you know the religion was used to start a lot of wars. I give you that. That's true. Especially when it comes down to brother wars. You can go through the history. You can see the barbarians fighting the Romans. You can see the Romans fighting England. You can see all these things. Those were all in a way Aryans. They were all white. They were all Europeans, and they did slaughter each other because of their beliefs. They went also after the pagans and the Nordics and all these things. Yes, that all happened. Religion can be used for really wrongdoing, right? I do believe in that too. And it's not like something that people don't agree with. I mean, people, even religious people, believe in this. That yeah, it's a power structure that was used, right, to conquer other empires, to conquer peoples, and to take over their minds with this religious belief. If you really look at it from the history and how toxic some of these religions, so they used religion in a way to take over countries, right? So you can look at the same thing as when the Europeans traveled to Asia, and then they wanted to put Christianity onto them, and then have them believe in their God and all these things and convert them, right? So I see it that way. I do see that, right, through history, that religion was used also as a weapon to brainwash and conquer people, and then to have them believe in whatever they believed in and just kind of shove it down their throat and make them believe it, right? I don't like that. Personally, I don't like that. I think everybody should figure out what they believe in for themselves, right? I don't think that the church should go around and tell you these things just to have you believe in what they believe in, right? So I think I'm an open-minded man. I'm open to anything. I'm free, right? And nobody's going to tell me what I should believe in or what a God is, right? So that's how I live my life. But I do see that in our circles when it comes to my Catholic and Christian boys, they agree on these things. They can align on it because it's something that is psychology, and it's something that you see it through history that they use that tool to get away with what they accomplished, right? To take over these empires, to take over these nations, to take over their minds, and then to run it, right? So you can look at history and you can see it like, yeah, could it be a Jewish way of conquering empires, and to then you know brainwash them and to hold them accountable. Oh, he said, okay. Hold them accountable later. If you don't love us, if you don't believe in us, then you are a sinner, right? And we are the chosen ones, and you have to love us. And if you don't, then you will go to hell, right? That is the kind of shit that I cannot fucking stand, right? And that's just where I'm at. That's just me. But when I see what you guys are doing, it's also this, in a way, if you really look at it, you guys are doing kind of the same thing because you believe in this, right? And you believe in what you believe in. And now you guys are kind of doing it the same way. You're also trying to make what you believe, go down someone's throat, right? You're trying to shove it down people's throat too. You also doing, if you really look at it, and I'm looking at it from the middle, if you really look at, are you guys doing anything different than that what they were doing right now? I mean, now you're fighting the propaganda with propaganda. Now you're doing the same method, and it's the same brainwashing, and it's the same shit,
Yeah,
right?
but look, Wolf,
But
Wolf,
how? But how is it different? Tell me.
it's different because I'm trying to de-brainwash the Christians. The Christians are trying to get me to believe that the Jews were God's chosen people and that the God of Israel is the one true God, the creator of the universe. That's the difference. Like,
I mean, I get that. I mean,
hold on.
I mean,
The
the
Catholic
choice.
Church,
Yeah,
your Catholic friends or your Christian friends, they believe that the Jews were at one time chosen by God. Is that real opposition? Yeah.
they
Well,
don't
then they're
believe
not real
that.
Christians. Then they're not even real Christians.
So you have to be a real. So for you to be a real Christian, you're claiming now, you have to believe. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm not saying that they believe in the new covenant. They think they're not chosen anymore, but they believe that they were once chosen. That's what I'm saying. They do. Every major denomination believes that the Jews were either still are chosen, still have a covenant, or were once chosen. And granting and validating that they were chosen and that they have a covenant, that's giving Jews way too much. That's granting them their whole delusion. And uh, another thing, I don't think you're being completely honest about the behavior of some of your Christian friends in the spaces. Like, I'm seeing all types of crazy stuff they want to do to pagans in the end, and have us go to hell, and we're gonna get the Charlemagne treatment and stuff. So, like, the difference is we're trying to free them from a Jewish spell that they need to wake up from, and they're trying to get us to bow down to the King of the Jews and the God of Israel. That's the difference. Do you see the distinction?
okay. Well, those are, but, but okay. But who you saying is doing that, right? These people are not the same Christian and Catholics that telling you that you what you believe in is wrong, right? What you saying right now, those guys that I know that know the truth, that know the New Testament, the Old Testament, all this stuff, don't believe in that. They don't. I know that for a fact. But you know what? Since I'm not the fucking best versed on the New and Old Testament and what people believe in, I'm gonna let some guys come up and maybe answer some of these questions better than I can. So let's go with Justin real quick and see what Justin has to say to this.
Oh, thank you so much. Hey guys, how's it going? What's up, Adam? Um, Man, I love you to death, but my God, you're really going hard on this early Christianity being a Jewish compromise controlled opposition movement from its very conception. I mean, I keep pointing out to you that the whole history of Marcion and how Marcion created the New Testament, and in the very first New Testament, it was very clear. It made clear that the God of the Jews was the devil. So there's no possibility that Christianity, from its very conception, was a Jewish controlled opposition movement. The very first form of Christianity that existed in Rome, you know, identified Judaism as Satanism. So like I don't know how you can overlook this entire saga of history in order to come to the conclusions you have.
Well,
I mean, it's
I'll
completely
tell you. I don't.
it's irresponsible.
I,
And one at a time and all that. Good. Yeah, I love the people I have up here. They're respectful, so they're gonna not interrupt. And good. Go ahead.
Justin is not even a Christian. He's a fringe, powerless, heretical Marcionite. I don't agree with Marcionite priority. And I mean, well, I don't even know why you're always trying to convince me of this. Convince all the Christian churches in the world.
But you're out there.
Your
You're
fight
telling
is with
lies,
them.
brother. You're being
I don't need
deceptive.
to,
You're.
no, I don't need
I
to
mean, what makes you
address.
different than
I
the
don't need
Jews
to
if you're going to
address
willing to
some
lie about it?
non-existent Christian. You're not even a Christian.
Don't
Okay, you
address
want
I
me?
don't know
Pope
how you
Okay,
can
Chat.
come to that
you want me to
conclusion.
get a Christian up
I'm
here?
only the founder of the
Hang
Marcionite
on,
Christian
guys.
Church. I don't.
Hang on. AK. Okay, then let me get a Christian. AK, you're a Christian, right?
I'm a scientist, so he probably doesn't want to. He probably doesn't want to hear anything I have to say either, because he's not arguing with what's being said. He's arguing with the person that's saying it. Which, I mean, what are we even doing here?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Well, hang on a second. I have a couple questions, right? So how many people do you even want to convert? Like, what's the game plan here for you guys, right? I want to know that. What do you think what do you want to accomplish? How many people do you want to convert, right? And
It's not even about conversion. It's about the truth
Yeah,
and
exactly. That's what I was
adhering to
gonna
the
say.
truth.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't.
And if we can all
I'm sorry. Was that a question to
go. I
me?
mean,
no, that
no,
was
no.
not
I'm saying
that
that
was that was for Adam. Hang on. But
Yeah, that
go
was a
ahead.
question to me. Yeah, well, obviously, I want to convert as many people possible, and a lot of people are waking up to this and getting it. A lot of former Christians, and But at the end of the day, I don't care if nobody would. I'm telling what I think is the truth, and that's what I'm going to do. Or not is not my problem, honestly. But
Okay. So you're
if
not
you see
okay.
on Twitter, you see in the replies, you see everybody talking about this. This isn't going away. It is gaining momentum. And it's because what we're saying makes sense. We have the receipts, and the other side is doing nothing but lying and coping. So, but it's going to be
Okay,
hard. You know why? Because
hold
all the
on.
big gatekeepers are all promoting Jesus. All the biggest Zionist and Jew shills all promote Jesus. And then we're going to also have the opposition also be promoting Jesus.
Okay,
That's
no,
a
this is
recipe for
ridiculous.
disaster.
No, this
All
is
right.
ridiculous.
All
You
right,
know
Hitler,
this.
go ahead.
Hold on. Let me say something here. I'm Catholic, and I'm not an idiot, and I'm not just gonna let this freaking idiot just talk a bunch of bullshit. First of all, it's never
Well,
fucking.
listen, first of all, guys,
Hold
no
on, hold
insults. No insults, right? He didn't
Very
insult.
Christian of
on.
you.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not.
seem really
No,
emotional
I'm so sick
and
of this. No, I'm so
using a
sick.
lot of
Hold on,
names. Where am I wrong? Just say
not
where
even
I'm
done.
wrong before
Hold
insulting
on.
me a bunch of times. Go. Where am I wrong?
Dude, let me talk. Dude, it's never the Christians or any of us that are the ones attacking you guys. You guys feel like you're like backed into a corner or some shit, and you're always attacking all the Christians for no
Bullshit.
fucking reason.
Bullshit. You're gonna tell me I don't get attacked.
Dude,
I
anytime
get
dude,
attacked every fucking day.
for
You're out of your mind.
dude, yeah, because because listen to yourself, dude. Because you're the one bringing this shit up in the first place. Dude, you
Because
go
I
to
say Jesus is fake,
hold on.
that gives
Listen to me
Christians
for a minute.
permission to attack me.
Listen to me for a minute. Us Christians don't give a fuck about any pagans. We don't give a shit about you guys. Do what you want, but we're not going to go out and attack you guys. It's your. Whenever I go into like one of these like white power spaces or these fucking pagan spaces, they start attacking you because you have like Christ is King or Catholic in your fucking bio. Like you guys are,
Okay,
dude. Like what are you guys
Hitler.
talking about? It's you
Well,
guys that
what
are.
about this? What about this? Right? What about this? That no ordinary Christian is gonna, listen to them about this anyways. I know that. And then the old
Dude,
Christians are not the
pagans
Christians
fucking
of today.
sacrifice children.
Okay, real quick, Hitler. The old Christians are not the same Christians as of today. I mean, I'm trying to kind of talk to Adam about that. I feel like that the people back then were just completely different when it comes down to their religious
Dude,
belief and
hold
what
on,
they were standing
let's go
for.
sacrifice some babies to the altar of fucking Zeus real quick, you fucking psychopaths.
Well,
See, this is what I'm saying,
he didn't
Wolf.
say he's
Wolf, this
pagan,
is what
bro.
I'm
He
saying.
didn't say he's
Yeah.
pagan.
Dude, look at his fucking profile picture, dude. Stop skating around the fact, dude. Let's
My
just
profile picture is me as a Chad cartoon. What are you talking about, dude? This is what I'm saying, Wolf. They come in, you're an idiot, and you're bad, and you're lying, and go sacrifice a
yeah,
baby. Like, you
dude, I'm
think I
sick of you
sacrifice?
fucking
I don't do
retards,
rituals.
dude,
I don't
attacking
believe in
everybody.
pagan gods.
Dude, you're
I
no
don't.
better than fucking HT, dude. You're the fucking same kind of
I'm
person.
way better than HT.
No, you're the same
Just kidding.
fucking
Sorry, HT.
dude.
Again, now bringing
You know
up
what your
HT for
fucking
some
buddy
fucking
said? Your
reason.
buddy said all
This is getting
Christians.
way too
I don't
lowbrow
care.
and
Yeah,
personal.
you don't.
Can we have an actual?
All right,
You
order.
don't care because you're a piece of shit, dude. That's why you don't
Yeah,
care.
I mean, listen,
Because you don't have morals. Because you
listen,
don't have a
listen.
god.
Well, okay, all right, you guys want to cook. Dude, I am not to fucking have an argument with everybody, but there's a lot of pros that are not happy with what they're hearing, and I'm not gonna fucking piss off all the pros, but let's behave, right? He didn't come here for bad faith, and he didn't come here for a debate either. I wanted to talk to him about psychology. I wanted to talk to him about what religion did to the human race and how it was used to conquer empires as well, right? And I wanted to deep dive into that kind of stuff. But then, yeah, he couldn't stop him talking a bunch of shit about you guys and the religion and Christianity and Jesus constantly. I was trying not to do that. I was trying to talk about the psychology, how religion was created and why and what it was used for at certain points and certain points in history. I was trying to keep it that way, Adam, right? But holy shit, right? I'm not here to debate Jesus or religion. I wasn't trying to do that, but now we're here, and you did bring up a lot of things that people are now want to have some questions for you. If we can do this, and I only want to do it if Adam is okay with
Yo,
certain
Wolf,
people
someone's
asking you
spamming the nest,
questions.
bro.
Your wife's a
For real
fat
right now?
fuck. Enjoy the jumbo.
Awesome. Good job, Goyim. Good job. And I love that you guys really believe that this is me. You fucking retards. Like I don't sound anything like this guy. So, anyways, and the other thing, you see these people how fucking psycho they are. They make up accounts. They come in here. They derail fucking the space. And if you go fucking call him and talk to him and see if I sound like him, you fucking retard.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
even saw the guy that said that retracted. But Wolf,
Yeah,
you see
it's
what I'm
just
saying?
whatever.
Like the guy comes in, he's just like, "You're an idiot," and go sacrifice things to Odin or Zeus or whatever
All
he
right, now
said.
you're just
Like
playing victim, and now that's super fucking Jewish. Like, bro, you
playing a
shit on
victim.
Christianity.
No,
You shit on
I'm
Christianity
describing
for 30
exactly
minutes,
what
and
you
then you
did.
expect not any backlash. What the fuck? Like, bro, you have this
Okay,
like
well,
entitlement and some like God complex. Like, tone it the fuck down, bro. I don't know where you think you are.
okay, what I'm saying is you saying that we believe in Marvel comic book characters or we're sacrificing babies or dancing around trees is just bullshit and cope and a lie, and I'm not doing that. So, do you have anything else? Do you have any can you address any of the things I actually said,
Now you're
maybe?
the victim, dude. After you guys go around telling
Dude, you're
fucking
playing the victim. You're
hey,
acting like the victim. Just where am I
dude,
wrong? Just give me
sacrifice some
good
babies.
faith. Where am I wrong? What am
Dude,
I
go
wrong about?
sacrifice some babies. Why don't you go sacrifice some babies?
Okay. Next guy, Wolf.
Yeah. You're not
Yeah.
going to talk about that, huh?
Okay.
Because that's part of your fucking
Let's
Dude,
go,
part
dude,
of
hold
your
on,
fellow
hold
Chris.
on,
religion.
Wolf. Christianity
Sacrifice some
is
fucking
literally based
babies.
on. Hold on. The sacrificing babies is your religion. Like Abraham was going to go
Dude,
sacrifice
you're
Isaac.
fucking
Your
cooked,
God
dude. You're
sacrificed your
cooked.
Messiah, bro, his
Dude, you're
son. He
cooked. You're
sacrificed himself. Your religion is based on a blood magic, scapegoat,
bro.
Yom Kippur atonement ritual where God killed himself, killed his son to save your sins. And you
Dude,
want to talk to
you
me, you want to
need
bring up me
who raised
sacrificing
you,
things.
bro? I
I've
would love
never
to go in
sacrificed
there.
anything in my life. Keep
Who
coping,
raised
dude.
you, dude? Jesus Christ. You need help, buddy.
Okay, so that was what Adam believes in. So who wants to have a counter argument to that?
Yeah.
I
My
would love
counter argument
to
is we
chime
don't
in.
sacrifice.
Well, Hitler, hang on. You've been spurring a little bit, so chill out. I get it. I know you're upset. Who can I have up here that can have a mature counter argument? Is it?
Grim.
Hang on, I know who I have. I know who I have. I'm gonna go to Veritas. Go ahead, Veritas. I know at least he can hold
Oh,
himself.
Veritas is good. Yeah.
Veritas, I'll let Veritas go ahead and talk about that. Go ahead, Veritas, and you have the
He's
floor, bro.
orthodox.
You guys go ahead.
I don't trust him 100%.
Go ahead, Veritas. You here? I'm trying to clean this jumbo up. All these dumbass fucking pictures of some fat fucking Indian Mexican hybrid. Um, Veritas, you here or not? The fuck is he at, man? Oh, all right.
Looks
Let's
like I
go
saw him
to
cycle down.
AK. Go ahead, AK. Go ahead, AK. Go
Thank you,
ahead,
thank
and
you.
then I
While
go to Big
Veritas
Fat
is
Baby.
coming back up, so all I want to say is like when Adams have been here, he's talking about Christians. A lot of generalizing going on in terms of Christianity and Christians, and they believe this, and there's actually many different delineations of Christianity, especially here in America, that believe many different things. So I think before we can even have a legit conversation, the generalizations need to stop there. And when we're talking about the Christians that worship the Jews or think that the Jews are God's chosen people, that's kind of a topic, in the belief systems of what we would think of Christian Zionists or Judeo Christians, which, in my opinion, are part of the Jewish programming that has gone on over the years in Christianity, at least that we've seen here in America. And there's a very clear purpose for that. And those are ideas, as we've seen recently in the media, that have been heating up, that are based on misinterpretations of the Old Testament and the New Testament and some of the language that's in those books. You look at some of the Christians that represent large swaths of Christianity down here in the Southwest. For instance, Stephen Anderson, who's a pastor here in Arizona, who absolutely disagrees with all of that, and he represents huge flocks of Christians. And so when we talk about these Christian Zionists and these Judeo Christians who've been misled into believing that the Jews are the chosen people, you go back and the Jews that they were talking about were the tribes of Israel, the Semitic, the Semites, right, that came from Israel. That's who they believe, probably falsely, are God's chosen people in a way. And that's controversial. It's a whole different argument. But if we want to talk about sacrifice, who are the descendants of probably humanity's grandfathers of sacrifice, which are the Canaanites? And those are Ashkenazi Jews, the ones that claim to be Jews that are not from anywhere in the East, but yet claim rights to the land based on being there for thousands of years, the great lie. So that, it, to me, is where the, to have a debate, at least to acknowledge historical facts and the very, clear principle that you can't just generalize all Christians because some Christians, like Judeo-Christians or Christian Zionists, are fucking retarded. But on that last note, I will say that in America, that's probably going to be the source of the great moral dilemma that's facing us in the future, is when Americans that are completely pissed off with Israel and global Jewry as a whole and stand up against it, we're probably going to be standing up against some of our brothers and sisters of the same race who are just brainwashed to believe God over country. And that means we need to worship Israel. And that, to me, is a huge problem. So I appreciate Adam and people coming up here to have these debates, because I think it's very educational for people to kind of wake up to this entire program that has a lot of Americans confused and misled into continuing to support Israel. For example, people in our government like Ted Cruz. So I'll kind of yield there. I just wanted to come up and just say it's not as black and white as it seems.
It
Oh, well,
is
thanks.
it is black and white when you see it the way I
Go
do.
ahead and answer back, Adam. I'm cleaning this jumbo off this fucking
No,
fat fuck that
keep my
thinks
Hitler
me.
one though. I just put a good Hitler quote up there.
Okay,
Okay. No.
listen. Who was that I was just talking to? I couldn't see the name.
It was AK.
That was AK.
AK.
Just put
AK.
bold
Okay,
facts.
AK. I don't care about what denomination. Pretend Zionists never existed. The original first Christian sect was fake and Jewish, and a bunch of Jews were following it. It was created by Jews, and it's a myth. So I don't care what sect it is. And yes, every major denomination in the world believes in the Old Testament, or in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, and believes that the Jews were once chosen by God. You can't say Pastor Steven Anderson, this one guy, like one out of like hundreds of thousands of Christian pastors in the world. You think Pastor Anderson is going to take over the establishment of Christianity? It's never going to happen. All he does, he's never going to overcome his own church. They see him as satanic. He just plays like the villain role that makes Jews get their victimhood. And so
So
it's
that was just one example. In Arizona, there's actually churches that resemble what he preaches in every single state. So he's just one of
one
probably
church in every.
hundreds, if
So
not
there's 50.
thousands.
There's 50 out of how many churches in America? Dude, the point is, you just want to scapegoat and say, oh, it's the Schofield Zionists only. That's the only problem. You're not taking accountability. You say they're brainwashed. You believe that you're brainwashed almost the same as they are. And yes, the Eastern Orthodox Church, they have rabbis like Gamaliel that are saints. They have saints that are top Sanhedrin rabbis. So they are worshiping Jews. Every Christian worships a Jew, the king of the Jews, the Jewish Messiah,
Yeah,
Jesus.
the Jews didn't accept him as their king. That's why he
I
was
don't
called the
care.
King of
That
the
does
Jews.
he's no, listen. All in his when he was born, the Bible says he's born the King of the Jews. When he's died, he's called the King of the Jews. When he's alive, he's called a Jew. Just because one Jewish sect doesn't acknowledge the Messiah of another Jewish sect doesn't make it any less Jewish. Don't you get that? It's still
Don't you
Jewish.
get that he was the King of the Jews and they denied him and that's why they crucified him because they believe their Savior is still coming?
You realize that all the first Christians were Jews that didn't deny him. They in fact invented him. And so what? Do you realize that the whole point of the Messiah before Christianity was that he would conquer the Gentiles and have all the goyim bow to him? And now you're like, well, they rejected him, so I'm gonna bow to own
No,
them.
that's the Antichrist. That's not Christ himself.
Oh, Isaiah 45 doesn't say every knee will bow and every tongue will confess to the Messiah.
What does that have to do with Christ?
Well, I mean, the New Testament cites that verse and says all the nations are going to bow down to Jesus. Hey, Wolf, look at Romans. I think it's 15:10. Romans 15.
I don't have a Bible. So let me get a
Okay.
Bible out there. Hang on.
All right.
I
All
got
right.
it. What are we at? What
Let's
was
say
that?
Saul the Pharisee, one of the first Christians, and basically we have Pauline Christianity. This is what it says. Okay, Romans 15:12. Isaiah says,
Romans.
the root of Jesse, that's the Messiah, will spring up, who will arise to, everybody read it with me, rule over the Goyim. In him, the Gentiles will hope. The point of the Messiah is to get all of the Gentiles to worship their God, and he will rule over them. That's the point of Christianity.
All right. Who was next? Who was talking to you about this? AK?
Well, I mean, we were going back and forth, and like, I think you say I'm scapegoating and I'm brainwashed.
I mean,
don't
there's
know
just at
who
the
or
end of the
what I'm
point, AK.
scapegoating
There's no
for,
point of
because
arguing with
I'm
these retards. I mean, what's even the point of
I'm
this?
just making
We're just wasting our
observations,
time with these
really,
people.
and
Where am I
We're
wrong?
wasting our time with
Do you
these
guys do
people.
anything but
Dude,
just
and so
you're
all they do is
delusional.
say
You can't
names? They have
argue
no
with the
argument.
delusional person, dude.
well, and I don't know
Yeah,
where
I
you're,
agree. And you're delusional, and you believe a Jewish delusion that the
Dude,
Son of
listen to
God is
yourself,
Jewish and
dude.
walks on
Listen to
water.
yourself,
You
dude.
believe in
Dude,
Noah's Ark,
who the fuck
Adam and
raised
Eve.
you?
You believe in talking
Dude,
snakes. You believe that a Jew was born
so
of a
here's
virgin and rose from the
Hitler.
dead.
Hitler.
You are
Chill.
brainwashed by Jewish fairy tales. Stop coping, dude.
dude, you're
so how
self-projecting,
come,
dude. You
here's the
literally
thing
follow a
is,
fucking fairy tale religion. You're self-projecting on me, dude. You're
and from a
cooked. This
neutral
dude's cooked,
perspective,
dude.
honestly, if it like fits the argument that you're trying to make, be it even coming from a complete outside perspective, from a neutral perspective, if it has to do with everything that you're saying about the Jesus was supposed to rule over the Goyim and everything, then it's all supposed to be legit. But anything interpretation, even thousands of years old of interpretation of scripture, if it's contrary to that,
Hold on, hold on,
is
hold on.
bullshit and it's a lie. It doesn't make any sense. It's a double standard. You can't have it both ways. And so if you even want to have a conversation, then you have to appreciate the openness of interpretation of scripture thousands of years ago, as well as what's going on right now. And that's why I brought up Steven Anderson as an example of a tide that's turning in Christianity here in America, of people that are kind of waking up to the fact that it seems to have been programmed for the benefit of the Jews, just like so many things have in history. So many historical texts have been programmed or changed or edited or deleted by Jews for the benefit of the Jews
Dude,
and not
it's
the
all written
Gentiles
by
and
Jews.
not
You're
anyone
missing the
else. So
point.
it
Hold
makes
on.
sense that
It's all written
it
by
makes sense
Jews.
that
You're
you can
missing
come
that
in
part.
now.
This is all their stories. This is not European lore. This is all Jewish stories. Why complain
So
about them rewriting?
I think what you're failing to acknowledge is the influence and the significance that thousands of years of European history and culture has had on religion. And when you talk about
So
words like
Europeans have
conquer,
changed the
and you say
Bible?
conquering, if you're talking about conquering evil or conquering some of the evil that we see in the world today, that's probably very
Yeah,
different than
Christians are doing a great
conquering
job
good,
of
peaceful
conquering
people.
evil from the world today. Yeah, good one. Hey,
Yeah, the
there's
pagans, the
no,
pagans are fucking killing
It
it,
is
Adam.
pointless.
They're killing
It
it,
is
bro.
pointless. Y'all are right.
there's no, yeah, you guys are pointless. Okay, can you address this point? There's no
Okay. Well, goddamn, I gotta give it to all you boys. You guys are all right. This is a pointless conversation. I give it to the Christians and the Catholics. I give it to Adam. Holy shit! How are we so? Ah, let- I just got a text message. Yeah, and then Colin isn't here, and Uncensored, and Adam is here, and I have fucking fake HT accounts trying to come up here. And Big Tech has been nice. Big Tech has been nice. Big Tech came up here, and Big Tech was didn't even fucking interrupt. So give it to Big Tech on that one, right? By the way, but Adam, oh God, guys, what are we doing here? Why?
Wolf, it's not
Okay,
the Christians.
you
That's why I
hate.
came up here and talked in the first place. We are never the ones that instigate any of this shit. It's these fucking
Oh, stop
weirdos,
playing the
dude.
victim,
It's
dude.
these
Stop playing the victim.
dude.
Well,
Hold on,
Dude,
I
Wolf.
dude,
didn't even
go
want to
hold
get
on. Go
into
into
Wolf.
this
any
really.
try
Like,
going
I
into
want to
any
get
white
into it.
power space or any one of these spaces with a
Oh my
fucking
God.
cross in your dude, you'll get fucking attacked, dude. Try going into one of these
Oh,
HT
poor you.
spaces.
Poor
Dude, you're
you.
friends with HT. That
Good.
just says enough about you. You are who your friends are, dude. You're just a piece of shit. You know it, dude. You're fucking
Oh, you're a
dude,
piece
you're
of
just a
shit.
terrible
okay,
Oh,
human
you're a
Hitler,
being,
piece of
dude.
Hitler. Okay,
shit.
okay, okay, okay. I get it.
Dude,
I get you are really fucking
so
pissed
that
off right now. Just chill out,
okay,
dude.
listen,
Please.
Wolf. I read
God,
the
wow,
verse.
this is a fucking
I
shit show.
read the verse. Paul says that Jesus will arise to rule
Dude,
over
I
the
listen to the
nations.
word of
And
Jesus. I don't listen to the word of anybody else, dude. Just shut the fuck
oh,
up,
you
take a
don't believe
seat, dude. Go
Paul? Okay, well, I
sacrifice
guess
some
you're
babies to the
heretical.
altar of fucking Zeus, you fucking dumbass.
Hey, yeah, you really have nothing, huh? Nothing but copes like that. Yeah, I'm not doing any
Hitler's fucking
sacrifices.
cracked me up. All right,
Why don't you
all
drink
right.
your Jesus
Listen,
blood? Why
Hitler.
don't you drink
Good
your
one,
Hitler, let
dude.
sacrificial
me
What are you
blood,
fucking
bro?
40
hang
years
on.
old?
Hang on, you guys. You guys, okay, now we're insulting each other. Fucking hey, boy, religion. See? See, that's why I don't okay. All right, uncensored, I give it to you, Carl, and I give it to you. I should have not even done it. All right. I was trying to have a conversation, actually. I should have just fucking listened. All right? Fuck. Boys, what's up with you guys? This whole religious thing, everyone is fucking shitting on each other. The fuck is going on? It's the same thing with the white power movement. It's like, oh, Wolf is not white, and Wolf is this, and I hate Wolf, and Wolf did that to me, and Wolf is this, and let me go fuck with Wolf, and let me fucking do this, and let me figure out that this, and let me find some fucking hybrid Indian mix somewhere that does upholstery, and let me make them believe that's him. And like, what the fuck is wrong with this movement on X? What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, but if you and I don't know, I know Adam is just you've been doing this forever. So I with you, I don't have a problem because you, this is what you do. This is your line of work. Right? There's other people who claim they were NSDAP, they were white power, they were all this shit. But what are we really doing? We dividing everyone and we dividing everything, and we are not united. We are not standing together on one common fucking problem. And just because there's still people out there who have a certain belief and believe in their religious stuff and their Bible and whatever it is, whatever, even with you, I don't hate you for what you believe in, and Adam, and I don't hate them either. Right? It's just I don't know. I just this is just another fucking proof for me now where I'm just like, my God, is it really, is religion just really just created to keep us constantly divided? Right? It's just like politics to me. It's just like politics. It's just like, wait, I need to be on the Republican or the Democrat. Like that's not it. I don't think this is really it for where for how we need to move forward. Like the harmonic code, the natural order, NSDAP set the groundwork for fucking what we have to establish, right? And here we are. We can never even agree on the Old Testament, the New Testament, on anything. We haven't. And you guys are not. What kind of messages I'm getting? Okay, this is a fucking what the fuck?
Dude,
All
Wolf,
right, bro.
Dude,
Wolf.
Yeah, I got.
so many of
Go ahead.
these people, I've never been spammed so much right now, dude, after my little rage.
I
Dude,
know, dude. You guys are cooking right now. I know. I know. I know. I heard it. I just wow.
Wolf, look at what's
Don't get mad at me, guys. Just trying to have a normal conversation with the dude, man.
dude,
Jesus.
these
Wolf,
But yeah,
pagans
Wolf.
get
go
so
ahead.
triggered, dude. I've never been spammed so much in the past
Hit.
5 minutes from
I
Dude,
anyone.
get it, brother. Right
triggered.
on,
Have you not
brother.
heard the every Christian that's come up here, how triggered they've been? I cite a couple verses. I explain the obvious that Jesus is a Jewish rabbi and the Messiah is meant to conquer the Gentiles.
Okay.
And
Now
these
this
guys,
is you can't
dude, are you just gonna cut? Hold
see.
on. Are you gonna mute me and cut me
This
off
is
every
what you
time?
do, Adam.
You're muting me and cutting me
I'm
off
not.
way too much.
I'm not. I'm not
Okay, let me
trying to. Go
finish my
ahead. Go ahead. I'm
sentence
not
then,
trying
okay?
to.
I come up here, I cite
All
a
right. Go
couple
ahead.
verses, I say what Judaism's about, the Messiah conquering the world, and then the Christians come up and say, "You're an idiot. Go sacrifice a baby. We can't talk to you. You're mean to us." Like these are not arguments, Wolf. This is all we ever get.
Yeah, it sounds that sounds a little crazy to me too. But anyways, let's not play victim card here. So who wants to get into it with what
Hey,
he's
I've
saying?
been gone a week.
Veritas?
Could I,
Mod.
yeah, well, hey,
Mod.
how are you?
Go ahead.
Um,
Let's do H before Beauty.
hey,
And then I'm gonna get Big Tag up because he was pretty quiet and he was pretty respectful. So I'm gonna let him back up too. Go ahead,
hey,
Mod. Go
well,
ahead.
why is it that the Jews hate Jesus,
Hitler,
for
hang
one
on.
thing? Okay. And when Jesus walked this earth, he called all of these people in the temple vipers and snakes. Okay. You can see by my profile picture, he turned over the tables of their collection plates. Okay. And then if you look at laws in Israel, what's against the law? Oh, worshiping Jesus. What's anti Semitism? Oh, Jesus is Lord, right? You can't say any of that. Now, why would there be such a hatred? And yes, I stay
Dude,
calm.
I've
I don't
answered
get
this a
triggered.
million times, Mud. You
And
realize
and
I've been answering this
if
for
you could
years?
please
This
Let
is
him
not
why.
finish.
trip out, please, just like a Jew, as you can all
Shut
see,
up!
ladies
Shut
and
up! Shut up!
gentlemen.
You're a Jew. You're a
But
Jew. Shut up, bitch.
Adam
look,
Greenberg.
I'm being
Mud.
very calm. Ich bin
These
ein
guys are
Deutschman.
retards.
Ich,
Guys, stop,
Adam, let him
stop,
talk.
stop. I'm
ich,
let Mod go and then let Adam go.
danke. Ich bin eine Deutschman, right? I know all about the Jews. They are evil. I do not worship any Jew. nor did Jesus. He was not a Jew.
Oh my
Mary was
God.
not a Jew. Okay, so this is
Just
all
let
I've
him
heard is
finish, Adam,
lies.
guys. Let
You know,
one at a
and it's
time. Go ahead,
laughable.
Mark.
I've been
Well,
laughing
he's
while,
made like 10 points. How about he makes one thing and I
and you
respond
know
to it?
why don't you read the Noahide laws
Yeah,
and
you're a
explain to me
Noahide,
why
dumb
that is?
shit. You're a Noahide.
Adam, this ain't your room.
So
Sit down and
why
shut
am
the
I
fuck
being
up for a
called
second.
names?
This is
I was very
my
calm.
name's on the title, dumb fuck.
No,
Well,
JQ's on the
so
title. You're
now
Such
I'm
a
Jeff.
fucking Jew,
No,
bro.
my
unintelligent
name's on the title
and
too, retard.
oh, okay. So now I'm unintelligent and
Okay,
I call these
Mud made
bad
a few
homonyms.
points. Can I address his points
So you know,
or
What
wrap
are you
it
going to
up?
What
address
were
him
the
with?
End it.
Oh, Jesus
points?
was a Jew. Duh.
well, all I've been interrupted and called names and so forth. So okay, it's standard behavior from the
You called me a name
well-known
first. Now
way.
you're crying out in
And
pain as they
so
strike you. Go
you
ahead.
know, it's
You
not
know, Jesus
uncommon.
wasn't a Jew. The Bible just says it. Okay.
It's
Can
just
I
No, Jew
address?
didn't even exist during the
have
Bible
you
time,
ever
but
read a
whatever.
Yes.
Bible like maybe from 1699 before it
Oh
was
my God.
perverted, but you haven't, and you just
Perverted.
lie
Oh yeah, the
they
Jews
like to
perverted my
read,
Bible.
and
Okay,
you interrupt like a Jew, you kvetch like a Jew. I don't know,
dude.
guys. Quacks like a
You
duck, sounds
you're a
like a duck,
spiritual Jew.
kvetches like a duck,
Paul
probably a
says you're
duck.
inwardly Jewish. You have a
And
You're
circumcised
literally
heart.
Jewish, bro.
it's odd how I
Oh,
can
No, I'm literally okay.
calmly
Wolf,
speak.
Wolf,
I
all
can
right,
calmly
guys,
Wolf.
guys,
speak,
Make
guys,
me
guys.
co-host, Wolf. This is bullshit.
and
Well, hang on now,
Don't make
guys. Like,
this faggot co-host.
No.
I know. Oh my God. Oh, okay. All right. This was a bad idea. This was a really bad idea. You opened a can of worms, bro. I opened a can of worms. Oh God.
All right.
I'm trying to be too nice. So, anyways, Matt and Adam, for once, just
well, I was the one
okay.
being
You guys,
interrupted,
okay.
Wolf.
I see one thing
I
now.
was the one being interrupted, Wolf. Okay, it was my turn to speak. He continuously interrupted me, and so I should not be blamed for that, right? I mean, he limits my time on how long I can speak, even though I'm a co-host here. So it's very evident the kvetching is because he doesn't like the truth. Just read the Noahide laws. Look what's illegal in Israel. Okay, and why they want to kill the Christians. Rabbis openly want to wipe out Christians off the face of the earth because many of us have woken up. I've never been dispelled by these Zionist morons, but many of them are waking up. So again, this is pointless when you hear countless numbers of lies. You can't combat a liar. You're just going to get called names and everything else, like he called me names, even a calm speaking guy.
You
I'm
didn't
calm as a
you
cucumber,
didn't
bro.
show one lie that I said.
Shut the fuck up.
You could not provoke me if you tried.
Yeah, you just won't stop talking. You're like a stupid boomer that won't shut up.
You see, he keeps going. I'm an X, Generation
You
X.
keep
So
going. Are you done
I
yet?
am without warning labels, and there's
Are you
nothing
done
you can
yet?
do to me. I'm done when
Are
I
you
say
done?
I'm done, little boy. All right.
All right, later guys.
So,
Fuck you. You guys are a bunch of
if
stupid
you can't,
Goodbye,
bitches.
if you
Jew.
can't take
Fuck
a little
you.
bit of truth,
Goodbye,
Later,
Jew.
Yeah.
You're a
faggot.
Jew.
Jew. We know
You're a
what you
Jew.
are. You fucking
You're a
faggot nigger
faggot.
Jew.
Okay.
Sacrifice.
What
All
school
right.
it
You guys
is?
are. This is not. Just just can we just have a normal conversation, argument here with each other without fucking shitting on each other? I don't know. Justin Nemus, yeah. Oh God, I'm not gonna get him in here right now. We do have to handle each other better, guys. Adam, you too. Like, if they're shitting on stuff that you say, just like you're shitting on their beliefs, then just calm down. I mean, just let them talk.
Dude,
We all need a brief. I need a brief. I need a
Wolf, I
brief.
told you to give me co-host before we did this, and now they're muting me, and this guy's filibustering and won't shut
I
up.
am the only one who's muting, and I am the only one who's hosting this right here, right now,
Yeah. You,
because
no, I'll,
because I'm trying to think that there are men that are mature enough in here to have a
they're
conversation
not.
if we disagree
They're
on this.
not.
Well, you are not
All
being
right,
better
I'm
either,
leaving then.
brother. I just
Fuck
saw
you.
that.
Fuck all you idiots. You guys are
Okay.
a bunch of retards.
Right, so I tried, and it's not fucking working. Big Tech, do you want to give it a shot? Do you want to try to have a normal conversation with these men in here, or are you gonna shit on everybody as well, and then just fucking say fuck everybody and I'm out of here? What are we doing here?
No, I'm way better at keeping my cool than Adam. Adam's been on a long road. He's dealt with 1,000 of these people calling him Jewish, slandering him, and coming after him. He's got a short fuse with everybody at this point.
Yeah, I can tell. Holy shit. I'm just